Welcome to Crash Reviews. My name is Crash, and this is my review for His Dark Materials Season 1, Episode 8. So this is the finale, guys. This is, the payoff for this whole season, and it's pretty good. I definitely still think Episode 6 was the best episode of this season, in my opinion, but this episode is good. We get a lot of exposition. We get a lot of information dumped on us through Lyra's interactions with Lord Asriel. We get a lot of exposition through their conversations. It's a little obvious how much exposition we are getting. It's clear to me, at least, that they were trying to fill the watchers in, because there was a lot of questions that hadn't been answered that probably should have been answered before now, at least for our knowledge, if not the characters. And that's something that some shows have a hard time finding a balance for. How much information we, the watcher, should have versus the characters. Sometimes characters should have knowledge that we, the watchers, shouldn't, because it preserves mystery for us. And sometimes we should have knowledge that the character doesn't, for much the same reason. It preserves mystery for the character. And those are two, that can be a balancing point. I do think they walked the wrong line of that a little bit in the series so far, keeping a little too much of mystery to us that could have been revealed to us and just kept a mystery from the characters. Now, the season finale, we do have Lyra getting to Asriel and talking to Asriel. We have Will discovering fully his connection to this other world. And we have some very interesting interactions between Asriel and Lyra, and some unfortunate happenings, trying not to tread heavily into spoilers. We do get an armored bear battle where armored bears are fighting airships because they have mortars of some kind, I think it is, which was interesting. Didn't expect armored bears to be able to fight airships. But we do see the Magisterium come out in force to try to deal with Lord Asriel and his experiments and the knowledge he's seeking. We do see Mrs. Coulter. And at the end of the episode, we get to see some very interesting aspects of these characters. Very interesting aspects. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to split the video a little bit. And I'm not going to break the video into multiple videos, but I'm going to put a spoiler warning right here. I really would like to go over some of this stuff, but I'm going to put a spoiler warning right here. If you have not watched this episode, I would stop this video now, or just skip ahead to my rating, towards the end of the video. I'm just going to do a little bit of spoiler talk, not too long, and and I don't want to spoil some of the twists that have come from before. I just want to reveal some of the natures of the characters. So again, spoiler warning here, big spoiler warning. So getting into that, we really see who's the bad guy of the story, kind of, and who's the good guy. I mean, this whole season so far, Mrs. Coulter has been the bad guy. And then we see that, yes, she's a bad guy, absolutely. There's no saying she's not a bad guy. But at the end of this season, she makes the more human choice, and Lord Asriel doesn't. And we've seen him be not necessarily the better character, but the more noble character. Because Lord knows he's not been the best of people, but he's been a more noble character until now. And then we see him do some very unnoble things, and revealing he's willing to sacrifice almost anything for the knowledge that he seeks and desires. The ends justify the means to take down the Magisterium for him. And for Mrs. Coulter, she actually wants something more than she wants that knowledge. So it's interesting to see some twisting of the characters. I don't know if that's in the books, but we do see some interesting developments there. I was surprised, actually, which is nice, because I genuinely don't get surprised often by shows. I have read a lot of books and novels. Well, books are novels, but I do a lot of reading. And so in shows and movies, there's really not a lot that surprises me these days. Most shows, most movies, I can guess what's going to happen. Most of this series, I knew what was going to happen. But this at the very end surprised me. Not what Lord Asriel did, but why he did it. I realized early in the episode that he was going to do a bad thing. I wasn't entirely sure why, and I thought he might not go through with it, but no, he went through with it, and he did a very bad thing. Bad Lord Asriel. And we do get a final glimpse of Will and Lyra as they're about to cross into each other's worlds. So that's pretty cool, I think. I'm curious to see that. But yeah, okay. Here ends the spoiler section. So going in back out of the spoilers, I really did like this episode. I didn't love it. I don't think it was as good as episode 6. It is going to get a B+ from me. It was a good episode. It was a solid season finale. I did enjoy the episode. I didn't really have any problems with it. I thought the scope was a little smaller than I was expecting, but overall it was a good episode, solid ender to the season. I'm really looking forward to see what they do with season 2. Since season 1 was enough of a success to get a second season, I'm hoping they got a bigger budget. Not that the CG hasn't been awesome. The CG in this series has been fantastic. I mean, just absolutely fantastic. So I'm hoping that they've got a bigger budget for season 2, so we can get like bigger set pieces with more characters and grander, escapades and things like that. But the CG in this show is absolutely movie quality, better than a lot of movies actually. But it is absolutely like movie theater quality CG. So yeah, it was a good episode, B+. Yeah. Until next time, guys. I've been Crash, and this was my review for His Dark Materials Season 1, Episode 8. I will be back with Season 2, Episode 1 soon. Until then, you guys have a great day, and thank you for joining me.